I want to start with a big thank you to everybody who was helping me and encouraging me along the way. 6,000 plus subscribers. Wow, that is really make me keep going. It is at this stage over 90 videos per month that I'm trying to keep up with dailies, weeklies, monthlies, with your X series. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, like, and comment and share. That means a lot to me, and I really love you for it. Also, if you did not join my Facebook page, please do, because every entry, so every like, follow, share, comment is going to count as one entry toward the contest. At the end of the May, I think June the 1st, I'm going to draw for 3 winners for May 20-minute readings. So join in and take your chance in this. Also, this is the last 2 weeks that you have your X readings at $45. These readings will go up as of 1st of June. So this is a really good time for you to basically take advantage of that. And also with me, once when you become my client, then you get a coupon, and that way you can take advantage of any of the deals that are not on special. Lastly, I really want to talk about my new channel, Sapphire Dreams. The channel is dedicated to healing, spirituality, and energy work. In this channel, I'm going to teach you various things such as meditations. You can check my cutting cord meditations. This is going to be really introduced because that's a really, really good remedy for soaking up negativity as well as deodorizing the place. So check it out and join that as well. So that's it. Without further ado, let's jump into your bi-weeklies from May 15th to May 31st. Love you. Hi Libra, welcome to your bi-weeklies. It is kind of like interesting what I laid down, so let's see how the story evolves. Let's go with what is on the bottom of the deck. One card is chemistry. There is a strong magnetic attraction here, so promising. And the other deck talks about 2 of Wands reversed. So somebody's making foolish choices, or somebody's giving up here, so it could be also maybe some kind of waste of time. We are going to figure out. So Libra, pay attention to the red flags, and the signs are cautioning you it's in your past, coupled with Queen of Swords reversed and 3 of Cups reversed and 9 of Pentacles reversed. This talks to me about a breakup, or possible a third person, or non-cooperation, and also tells me that somebody didn't want to actually be single. Somebody really wanted to stay in this relationship, even though there were red flags, and maybe that red flag was the third person. But in any case, it looks like there is still something from the past that is coming to the present, and it could be if you were single, if you're single right now, that maybe you don't want to be single, and yet you are not fully whole in order to move forward. However, also what is in the root of the situation for the next 2 weeks would be children. Your love life is being affected by children, and then it's like 3 of Pentacles upright. This is like a main team building card. It's kind of like, let's get together and try to see what we can do. It's a manifesting card. Goal is something that is happening. It could be something connected to your children. It could be something connected to the project. It could be something with your work or with money. Certain things, however, could be delayed, and you may feel a bit lonely. You may feel like maybe there is a time for children to leave home, and maybe like they're moving on to the next stage. This is also a card of improvement. It's also a card of expertise, enrolling courses, and maybe you're waiting for something like that, and maybe the messages are a little bit delayed. Or maybe children are leaving home and you're feeling lonely. Altogether, it's kind of like really interesting because this is kind of range of emotions over here. So what is basically the start. Here, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership, and this is like Six of Pentacles kind of crossover here. So Six of Pentacles is a card of balance. It's a card of give and take. It's kind of like showing the three, I don't know if you can see three kitties, and it's kind of like a question asking you, are you giving and taking in equal amounts? If somebody giving more, somebody giving less, right? So it could be also talking about the physical resources, but it also could be talking about the money. There are still some issues connected to the past. This card is saying that somebody doesn't want to let go, and maybe this is going back to give your relationship a chance. Maybe there is an effort making it work because it kind of, I guess, somebody feels financially makes sense, but at the same time somebody really doesn't want to stay in. Judgment reverse talks about that maybe some injustice is going to be done to you, but that's also your card. This can also mean that you don't feel really fully comfortable with yourself, that you may feel a bit violated, and maybe this talks about that you don't feel like this is kind of that balance. Maybe you feel that you're giving too much, and like that to give your relationship a chance, you will really have to see that this is taking place in order to move forward. And yet you're feeling other ones, like, so this is a second storyline. It says worth waiting for. So some of you want to work on it even though you're not feeling you're getting rewards for it, and it says here divine timing is at work in your love life, but you're wondering for how long do you need to work. The kind of passion is sort of, passion has left the building. You feel that sometimes there are secrets in your relationship, or that you don't know how to deal with approaching other people, and how to kind of like deal with issues that are coming up. And kind of like being the air sign, you are kind of really good communicator. You're trying to really please others, but at the same time you're always trying to make decisions fair. This is kind of like really important to you. But the moon talks about being very changeable and uncertain, and also talks about deception and something that's kind of the truths that will come out, right? It is kind of really difficult to know what is real, but this is also karmic card saying that, you know, you will be able to kind of change things if, you know, so desired. So it's going to be a lot of attention paid to balance, and this is really your element. Some of you decided to move on. Some of you single ones are definitely I mean, kind of trying to find somebody else, or the ones who basically have relationship are moving on. It says stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And Six of Swords, this is kind of like not moving on because you have to move on, even though I see that some of you really want to hold on, maybe because of financial reasons, maybe because of feeling of, you know, that you're going to get weaker, maybe just simply because you really don't want to be alone. But the others of you, and this kind of like talks about spiritual involvement, are deciding that enough is enough and you have to look for your own happiness, even though you still don't know what that happiness is, because Seven of Cups is talking about making a decision, and you can't, because it's like so many choices over here, right? And yeah, there's like still that flavor, kind of like it's very difficult for you. You're moving on, you're still not there, because the, you know, the other side is still inside, but you're really not there, and you're wondering what is probably next. But at the same time you still have this flavor, possibly of the third person, of possibly you know, what kind of like issues you're going to encounter. These are kind of like swords, and swords are like very brainy kind of thought process, and this is kind of like in the heart. So it's kind of, it's hesitation on two levels, both in head and heart, but at the same time you are moving on. That's really good. So right in front of you Yeah, and I think this is the fear, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. And then you have Queen of Wands. Because some of you don't want to be single, and some of you really want to feel comfort within the relationship and save relationship at any cost. And I think some of you are really trying to present yourself as super attractive, and we know you're Libra, you're really good at it. So Queen of Wands is like sexy, go-getter, everything to everybody. And you know this is not a stable situation. You cannot be that way. And it's definitely, you're not the fire sign. This is not your flavor. Your flavor is diplomacy. Your flavor is art. Your flavor is, you know, exchange of ideas. Flavor here is doing. Put your hands on something and go for it, right? So I don't know. Maybe it would be kind of a lawyer would be here, but codependency talks about, okay, you are attracted to something that is really not good for you, and this is kind of affecting your life because you just become happy when you're truly in your element. So right, you can put a bunny costume, but you're not going to be a bunny. You're just going to be a Libra in a bunny costume. So this is kind of warning you about, yeah, you see, that path is not going to bring you emotional fulfillment. And yeah, and this is again, for some of you, this could be a breakup. And some of you is going to be realization that you haven't been in a healthy relationship, and hence it was not fulfilling for you. That goes back to that give and take. Maybe you were the one who were giving and giving and giving, and trying to mold yourself or wrap yourself around someone who maybe didn't come back with reciprocating. This also talks about understanding yourself, understanding who you really are, understanding what makes you happy. And this is really in front of you, and kind of like you'll be dealing with this on two different levels again, through passion and through basically heart. It's kind of really good to recognize the patterns, and while we sometimes do things for the other people, it's kind of like a quid pro quo. It's at the same time, you have to figure out that enough issues and enough items happen as well that to kind of take care of yourself. Otherwise, sooner or later, it's going to kind of like become different. So how do you really feel about yourself? There is wedding. The situation involves marriage, and it's like Knave of Swords over here. Again, it's kind of communication, possibly harsh communication, walking a tightrope, and feeling left out in a cold. For those of you that talks about your own marriage, it talks about that there will be definitely exchange of words, and it's going to be exploration of possibilities. Some of you might even think that maybe you should just jump into one decision blindly. Others will hesitate. The third kind of Libras might feel that this is not your kind of communication, and ultimately the situation can leave you kind of like wanting and longing. This is not the situation, and this can also affect your finances as well. So it goes back to the cards that we had, that kind of like maybe you're trying to stick to the arrangement because the arrangement works on some level or financial level. This could be division of finances, and this can also be kind of talking about how to go in the future. For the other Libras that are single and that are trying to go to the future, the wedding is on your mind as usual, and you're really wondering how to go about it. So this is kind of like good for those of you Libras, but you still also torn between the two choices. One choice is like to be who you are, and one other choice is like being doing the same things you were doing all over again. But how did that work out, Libra? And also you are really worried about moving forward in that way, and to be kind of let down in your environment. Again, like all over you is romance, engagement. Your love life is ascending to higher level of commitment, and there is like this impatience. This can actually also be your children. High Priestess reversed, and this is Seven of Pentacles reversed, and then you have 8 Strength reversed. So this is kind of interesting, 2 major account with engagement, but this is falling in the category of the others. You might feel taken back with somebody's engagement. You may feel that you want to really get busy with certain things, for whatever reason. You may be involved with projects with your children, but somehow you're going to lack strength and energy to really do all of that. It might feel like that you really want to give up on certain things, or you'll feel that expectations from the others in these 2 weeks could be a little bit too much for you to handle, and that you have to deal with your own issues. In any case, you're going to try to find a ground how to go deeper inside of yourself and figure out which direction to go into. So mostly I would say, because this is in your area of fears and hopes, calling in your soulmate, it says your prayers, affirmations, visualizations help bring you together. And then you have Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords and Seven of Wands. Well, it looks like that you're going to start to fly, because look, these knights are always here looking for somebody who can actually take them somewhere. One is like with passion, another one is with words. It looks like to me that you are mostly coming to your own, that in this period you're going to go through huge transformation from really trying to figure out if you want to save the situation you're in or you want to move on. For the single people, you also want to kind of like go into this soulmate situation, but you also don't want to repeat the situation from the past. So this is telling me that, like, 2 nights, it's kind of like a movement toward better communication. And meaning better communication, not that you don't communicate well, you do, but you don't put yourself first, or you don't put yourself in proper balance. And that's why your Libras, even though you have like this kind of scales that are always in balance, actually, you know, in reality you're always off. And this is kind of striving to have the balance between your passions and between how you go and pursue somebody and with what basically you really need. You may be a little bit defensive regarding certain things. You may feel that you are making other people defensive, but it's all good. You have to find your firm ground. So the outcome altogether, if you're dating, if you're going with somebody else, or if you're starting all over, it says express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And then it's like the Fool card and 10 of Wands card and the Emperor. Well, a few things. If they're your own family and children, of course, express your love kind of would be really good. If you're moving on, this is a really good card, because it indicates that you'll be able to shed all this debris from the previous relationship, even though, you know, you will still think that they will be carried with you, or like, I mean, that you took too much for yourself. But it's just like just a simple turbulence, and it's not going to take much longer, because you're actually going to achieve the stability, and you will achieve ability to kind of feel solid on your ground and kind of like charge ahead. This is kind of like that passion that over here you wanted to call your soulmate. Some of you may be meeting somebody in this period, and most likely it's going to be a fire sign over here, which is kind of overwhelming flavor. So Libras, going from solitude to trying to comprehend who you are to basically moving on to stability in 2 weeks. Congratulations, that's a big path. So thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share, dislike if you dislike, and join my Facebook. And for private readings, please contact me via my website. Thank you so much, Libra. Have a good 2 weeks. Love you.